Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday. I am thinking I am live now. Yep, I am. Okay, great. Well, thank you again so much for joining us for another one of my amazing Empowered Talk summits. I have committed to doing a summit every single month this year. And so far, so good. So we still have November and December. And so today is Healthology. We have some amazing speakers for you. It's going to be super exciting. You're going to get inspired, motivated. It'll be a happy day for you. Either way, try to watch it if you can live. We are live streaming. It's a free summit for the public. The speakers and the sponsors have paid to be here to help empower you. And so this is how this works. So this is the reason I do these. I've been doing them for about 4.5, almost 5 years now. This year, I decided to do one every single month. I think I might continue with that next year. I love it so much. And thank you to my Global Recognition Award for Empowered Talks. I will definitely be continuing. They are going to be doing a write-up in Business Insider, which is great because I've not been written up in there yet. And it's amazing to be acknowledged in that way, because I do this for reasons for myself. I do it to help empower the speakers, to help the speakers get out there. We do have a 6 million plus viewership. This stays up for a very long time. I have a social media lady who helps me out and does many, many wonderful things to edit the video. It always ends up being about 5 to 6 or sometimes even 7 or 8 hours. One time it was a 2-day. In June, we did a 2-day because there were so many people that wanted to come on. I'm so grateful that people love this so much and that you're all benefiting so much from this. So if you have feedback for me, please share. I'm always open. And I love the way I do these. There's so many different ways of doing summits. You know, there's people that don't charge the speakers and do charge the public. I find that when you don't charge the public, when you don't ask for their email, you don't ask for anything, you just simply give. This is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. And that way, the most amount of people can benefit from this. I love doing this. I love it when people tell me that they've watched it. And I love it when my speakers get business out of it. I love that too, because that's another reason we do it. We help get people out there, especially if you're starting out as an entrepreneur and you need to get on stages. I remember when I first started, oh my gosh, I spoke everywhere. And yes, sometimes you have to pay and sometimes it's free until you get to the point where you get to be a paid speaker. And we have some of those on here today as well. We have, oh my gosh, we have so many great speakers that will enrich your life and also your business. So this will stay up on my Facebook pretty much forever. You're welcome to watch it as many times as you wish. Share it with as many people as you feel might benefit from this. Send it to someone if you can. If you can't, just send them over to my Facebook. I will try to accept them as a friend. I'm always trying to make room because I'm at my limit, almost always at the 5,000. I wish they didn't have that limit because on LinkedIn, I have far more. I have almost 19,000. So, and LinkedIn, this will eventually end up on LinkedIn as well. And also, we give the speakers their speech. We brand it and then we send it to them, and they're free to repurpose it any which way they want. I am not a person of a lot of rules and regulations at all. Try to keep it nice, try to keep it positive. If it's not positive, we're going to edit it out. That's just the way it is. And anything that will help to inspire the audience. And so with that, I always give a theme for the summit. So last time it was leadership with heart, which was a big hit. All of my summits are a big hit, which I love. I love all the feedback I get on them. I love when people watch them. I love everything. I love all my speakers. There's absolutely amazing people that have done amazing things with their businesses. And the fact that they're willing to come on here and share to help inspire you, and that they're paying to help inspire you, that is an extra treat. So I hope you enjoy this. And we are waiting for our first speaker. I believe she'll be on shortly. And I'm just going to text her. And yes, it's going to be an amazing day. So I am a doctor of metaphysics, and I'm also a reverend. I'm an ordained minister of metaphysics. I am, this is for all the people that don't know me. So all you people who do know me, just go, That's great. I live in just a little outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Love Canada. I've been here most of my life. I came here when I was 6 years old with my parents from Eastern Europe, Croatia, a really beautiful country, absolutely gorgeous. At the time, things were so coming out to Canada and other places was amazing. So I had the pleasure of growing up in Toronto. And you could tell I'm a Torontonian when I don't say Toronto and I say Toronto, because that's what we do. And it's beautiful. And I'm wondering who would be interested if I had a in-person event. Would you come? Would you come, or would you want to be a speaker? Please let me know. Connect with me either directly. It's better if you direct message me, because sometimes the messages in here, they don't get seen. I'm trying to host, and I'm trying to look at the Facebook Live on my page, which I believe I have to, I think I have to get off of Facebook here, because then there usually is an echo. So this should be good. Oh, and I forgot to record this. Oh my goodness. Okay. There you go. Now it's recording. It's going to be tough, but when it goes on Facebook Live, it usually records anyways, but I do like to record it for myself. It's amazing. And then we do some pretty fun things with it. You gotta love social media people, right? Like they do things that I wouldn't even think of. So in this particular summit, this particular one is called Healthology. And oh, good, we're here. We're live. Okay, that's good. And it's absolutely crucial that you, as an entrepreneur, okay, so Lori's just going to be here shortly. As an entrepreneur, you absolutely must pay attention to your health. I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I've been one for okay, so I am 62 years old. I started working when I was 15. I actually started working when I was 13, but we can't tell anyone that. I started working when I was 15. That's a lot of years of work. I lived in Europe for 12 years. I had my own business there. You know, I had a clothing store for a few years. I also worked as a nanny for 2 little twin boys, which was a ton of fun. I also worked in a flower shop and a boutique, someone else's clothing store. And then finally, I worked as a bartender, which was probably one of the funnest jobs I've ever had. Being a waitress, that's a little bit different, but being a bartender, oh my goodness, that is a blast and a half. So that was almost too much fun. So that was when I was younger. Of course, I had more energy. I wouldn't do that now, although maybe if it was like, I don't know, a different kind of club, maybe. maybe like a yoga studio with juicing and that kind of stuff. I'm not a big drinker. I do like to, have some drinks sometimes, but not really a huge thing for me. But yes, when I was younger, that was a whole bunch of fun. So I lived in Europe for 12 years. I also lived a little bit while the war was on there. I had the pleasure of spending some time in a bomb shelter. So that was fun. And I grew up with a fairly abusive father who was also bipolar and couldn't really control himself a lot. So between my mom and myself, that was really hard to take. And there was a lot of healing necessary after that. And then, oh my gosh, then I married a lovely man who, I think we just grew apart. I, stopped partying so much and he continued. So, not a terrible thing for him, but just it wasn't my thing. So, he still liked drinking and partying and stuff. And that was also hard to take. So there was plenty for me to heal up from when I was leaving my ex, and almost every single credit, anything was in my name. And I had some business ventures not go well, let's just say. I had to file for bankruptcy. So I had to recover financially from that. So I have learned how to recover from personal, from wars, from business, from money, relationships, you name it. And then in the same year that I left my husband and I filed for bankruptcy, I shut down a spa business that I had here that I had had for 12 years. And I also lost my mother. I lost my mother to Alzheimer's. She was in a nursing home with Alzheimer's for a very long time and in hospitals prior to that, and so on and so forth. And so all four of those things happened within about a year, maybe a year and a half. That's a lot of pain in a short amount of time. Following that, I did lose my father as well, also to dementia. He had a different version, and he didn't have it quite as long. He was also older, and I think some of his pain was due to losing my mom so early. So my mom passed away at 71, and my dad passed away at 82. And I'm an only child, so I, of course, had to handle all of that. They also had a desire to be buried in Croatia, so I had to send them all over there. So there was extra work all over the place. So I understand. I'm actually thinking of doing like a special YouTube channel just for dementia caregivers as support, because I had a lot of different people in the nursing home, some who came regularly to see their parents and, did the same thing as me. Sometimes they were in a good mood, sometimes they weren't, sometimes they recognized you, sometimes not so much. And it's tough, when you're looking into the eyes of your mother and she doesn't know who you are. That's really hard. That's not an easy thing for your heart to take. And so some of the people, they just couldn't handle it. Like they would talk to me and they say, wow, you're here every week. And I go, I'm here every other day. We exchanged with my mom. It was my dad and I taking turns. And with my dad, it was just me. So I would just pop over after work almost every day. I mean, at least 5 days a week. If I ended up working really late and it was just too late and I knew they went to bed early, didn't come that day, but mostly I came a lot to visit, to be with him, to feed him, because they need help. There's a lot of people there that can't feed themselves, so they will handle all the help that they can get. In fact, when my mom passed away, I actually did volunteer at the nursing home for a little wee bit, and it was hard. It wasn't easy. And none of this, what I just said, was easy. But, sometimes I don't talk about my story, but if you want to function as a well-rounded entrepreneur, you have to do some serious inner healing. Like there has to be some serious time set aside, time, money, space, energy for your healing. And then there has to be some very regular everyday healing. Like my morning routine includes journaling. It includes prayer. It includes meditation. It also includes yoga. It includes walking because I do have a dog, so I have to walk, which is great because I love being outside on a nice day. Of course, not in the rain, but even in the rain, I have to walk him, right? He has to go. I love spending time in nature where the air is nice and fresh. And if it's down by water, that's even better. And I'm super lucky enough to be able to live beside a beautifully large, gorgeous park right on Lake Ontario. And it does get packed in the weekends. So there's other little tiny parks around the area that I can go to. And then I also have friends that live out in the country, and I love getting out of the city. Like, it's just, I do a lot of work in the city. I'm a real estate agent as well as a doctor of metaphysics. So the doctor of metaphysics part, that will never end. I will be retired and I will still be doing energy healing, and I'll be coaching, and I'll be running masterminds and maybe even summits. Who knows? If I keep winning awards, who knows, right? And I am blessed. I have won many awards for my businesses. I have for my publishing company as well. And oh my gosh, for my coaching, I've been written up in Forbes, USA Today a few times, Forbes a few times, Forbes like 4 times, and USA Today twice, Maxim, Elle magazine. That was so much fun because when I was a kid and a teenager, a tweenager or whatever they called them, I used to buy Elle. I used to spend a lot of money on these magazines, and I was like, oh, I love Elle. And when the opportunity came up, I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely cannot say no to that. Like, that was an extra special treat, just because when you're a kid, you don't think, oh, one day I'm going to be in Elle, but how wonderful is that? And I've had some great acknowledgments. I'm so blessed and I'm so lucky. And some of the people I get to work with, and my clients and my students in some cases. And the only thing I haven't really been doing recently, actually since 2020, I haven't done any international retreats, and I want to get back into that. So 2025, I have to book at least 1, if not 2 retreats. And I was actually just talking to a lovely young lady yesterday who sent me a picture of a really great retreat place in the southern part of Texas. And I have another friend that has another place in Texas. So we'll see. Maybe Texas is going to be a regular stop there. Who knows? Also, I will do some local retreats as well. And I want to do in-person event. So I love doing virtual. Virtual is great. And it's so international. But I do want to do an in-person event with speakers, with vendors. And I want to do it in the Toronto area. So whether or not it's in Toronto proper, or maybe in the East End or the West End, probably in the West End, I live in the West End of Toronto. So I will probably do it there. I'm actually super excited about doing that. And I'm actually going to speak to a banquet hall next week that does events, and I may also start doing wellness events with trade shows. So if you're interested in doing that, please let me know. This will be in Mississauga for my local people. It will be in the southern part of Mississauga, where this particular banquet hall is located is called Lakeview. It is right beside Port Credit, which is where I used to live, and now I live in Clarkson, all down the street from this wonderful place. And it's very, very close to Etobicoke, which is a part of Toronto. So that's where I am looking to do it. Probably start smaller, not super small, just smaller. The smallest venue I'm able to get is with 25 tables. So if you are interested in having your business in a wellness show, and it doesn't have to always be wellness directly related. It could be here, we're going to make you feel really great because it's all about you feeling better about yourself either way, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually, or emotionally, or any other way. It could be a real estate agent. It could be a mortgage agent, right? That could be, very helpful. I know for myself, a lot of my friends are using me now for their parents because they don't want to, their parents have maybe lived in these houses for 50 plus years and they don't even want to sell them. So they need someone who's able to hold their hand and, work with them emotionally as well. Like this is where being a coach comes in handy. So that's actually amazing.